Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. My name is Devan Kline, and I am the co-founder and visionary of Burn Bootcamp. And we're so glad that you're here, really, that you're focused holistically on your life, that you're taking time out of your busy day to show up and to be with us. And so we want to get you to the next level. We want to give you that insight. We want to give you that next aha moment, that next thought. So that's what I want you looking for during this podcast. And so we are coming here every week with brand new stuff for you. And this, around the New Year's time, it's really important that we lean into how to set New Year's goals better, because we all know that this time people want to set new goals. It's an opportunity. It's a new year. It's a fresh perspective. I'm never going to be one of those people that leans away from the New Year's and says, just why don't you work as hard on July 17th as you do on January 1st? Well, that's not helpful for anybody. That's why I don't say that, because there's this societal excitement around the new year. And so I want to teach you how to turn that excitement not into some la-di-da goal that kind of, by February 2nd goes away. But I want to help you set a concrete goal, something that you can look forward to all the way to next year. I was just in Orlando, Florida at a celebration, one of our locations there right outside of Disney. And I had a member come up to me and say, "Hey, DK, I listened to you talk around last year about how to set goals for the new year. I did it in the way that you recommended, and I just reached it now." She set a really long-term goal. We broke it down. We reverse engineered it. And it was really meaningful to her. And she was strategic on the front end of why we're actually setting these goals. So as a trainer, that's in my heart, I'm a trainer. In my head, I'm an entrepreneur. And so I've trained 15,000 or more of our Burn Boot Camps, and just working with thousands of people, I would have to be either blind or be silly not to see the patterns that happen in people. And when we set our goals specifically to our core identity rather than our shell identity, that's the big difference. Let me explain what these things mean. Shell identity is, hi, my name's Devan. I'm a dad. Nice to meet you. We're confined by the label that we give ourselves in our small talk. That's our shell. That's our style. That's how we come across. But is that really who we are? Is that really our core identity? Is that really the substance? No, I'm much more than a father. I'm much more than my job title. I'm much more than a husband. I'm much more than a visionary. I'm much more than a trainer. I have all of those hats, and all of those hats are going to require me, in order to fulfill my legacy, to not let any of those multiple personalities drop the ball. I've got to get down to the root cause of why I actually do what I do, so we can no longer be approaching January and set some arbitrary goal like, hey, I want to get fit and toned in the new year. It's like, okay, I understand that. Thank you for sharing that with me. But why? Why do you want to get fit and toned? Well, Devan, I want to get fit and toned because I want to keep up with my kids. They're getting to the age where they're playing soccer and flag football. And, I'm sitting here and I can't even go out in the front yard and kick a soccer ball with my kids for more than 10 minutes without needing to take a break or needing to sit down or running out of breath, or I can't go to the mailbox and back, or I can't go down the stairs and up. I can't carry my children up the stairs. That's when I hear a lot like, DK, I'm so out of shape that I can't even carry my kids up the stairs. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere, because is fit and toned really your goal? Like to lose body fat? Like how deep does that really go? That's in alignment with your shell identity. But what your core identity really wants isn't to get fit and toned, right? That's a byproduct of you wanting to keep up with your kids, but we got to go deeper, because just keeping up with your kids, there's no emotion attached to that. And unless we could concretely describe our goals from a state of positive emotion, we're never going to stick to it. So the next why layer is very, very important. It's not because you want to keep up with your kids. It's because, why do you want to keep up with your kids? It's because you want to be a role model for your kids in their life, so that you can build memories with them along the way that you can deposit into that memory bank that actually define your relationship with your children over the years. You want to build memories, right? You want to have no regrets. You don't want your children, when they're 18 years old, 10 years later, to say, yeah, mom's legacy was she was always too overweight too out of shape to play with the kids, to beat us in soccer, to run with us, to train with us. You don't want your kids to say that about you. You don't want them to say, yeah, mom could have done more, but she didn't. Dad could have done more, but they didn't. That's the impetus around wanting to get fit and toned. But that's not good enough either. We got to go one more layer, because now we're starting to connect that New Year's goal, that New Year's resolution, down all the way to that true essence of your core identity. And you'll know it when you get there, because you'll set the goal in a framework in which makes you emotional. It'll make you cry. And for me, the next layer of why, it's not to get fit and toned. Why do you want to get fit and toned? To keep up with my kids. Well, why do you want to keep up with your kids? To build memories. Well, why do you want to build memories? So I have no regrets. Because what we really fear and what really motivates us is the thought of having regrets when we're sitting in a rocking chair at 85 years old. The thought of having those regrets is a lot of times daunting, so painful, so extremely unacceptable to you that the pain of the future vision of you sitting in a rocking chair and having to go over all of your regrets with your grandchildren is far less painful than putting clean food into your mouth and showing up to the gym on a daily basis today. So what we're really talking about is not training to be fit and toned. We're really talking about waking up and training today for the long-term outcome of having no regrets. To wake up when you're, a year from today and say, wow, I was able to keep up with my kids this year. My 8-year-old son, Timmy, looked up at me and said, hey, mom, hey, dad, I had so much fun playing soccer with you this year, and I love soccer now. And I want to play next year. And the satisfaction, the selfish admiration, appreciation, and the feeling of importance and the feeling of accomplishment as a parent is what we really are going after. Okay, no more arbitrary goals, y'all. This isn't just for New Year's. This is being thoughtful about every goal that you're setting in your life: body, mind, emotion, spirit, relationships, time, work, money. All the 8 pieces of the pie that Morgan and I talk about all the time. This is very important, that when you're setting any goals inside of any one of those pieces, that you're asking yourself, why? We have to stop setting arbitrary goals because society tells us we need to get fit and toned. It's much deeper than that. If you just leave it at that and you don't connect it to emotion, emotion creates motion. Okay, emotion creates motion. When you create emotion and it's really important to you, then the massive action that you take is going to create momentum in your life. That momentum isn't just going to die out in February. It's going to last not only through this year, but it's going to be something that sticks with you forever in your life. And this I can promise you, because I've worked with thousands of people personally and hundreds of thousands, if not millions, with myself and our 2,000 Burn Bootcamp trainers, our 600 franchise partners that are out in Burn Nation. We conspire together to help you get down to what you really care about. And that, my friends, is how you set a lasting New Year's goal. It's not by society telling me I've got to set a New Year's goal. Okay, I guess I'm going to go back to the gym. Let's Google a gym. Oh, I find that one. All right, well, this is good for a few days. Oh, well, this is getting less good. Oh, look at everybody else is leaving the gym. Now I guess I can leave the gym too. Then in February, you're back to square one, and probably even worse than you were before, because now a strategy that is perfectly good for you, finding a gym that works for you, that strategy just wasn't connected down to the root cause. It wasn't connected to your core identity. You let your shell identity set the goal. And if you're just setting goals with your shell identity, then you're going to end up even more stressed out and helpless than you were in the first place. And so this is the truth. And I hope that you stick around here at the Burn Bootcamp podcast to get more like this, because the reason we go to the gym and do the reps is not to get better biceps. It's to get stronger mentally. It's to get more strategic emotionally. It's to belong more spiritually. It's to understand how the relationships in our lives, starting with the one that you're staring back at in the mirror every morning, to the next most important, your intimate relationship that you have with your significant other, to the next important, if you have children, that relationship or with your family, and then your community, and then your state, and then your nation. That's the pecking order. You can't impact your nation without impacting yourself first. You can't impact your state without impacting yourself first. You get it? You can't impact your community, your family, your spouse, your children without you having a great relationship with you. It's the most important relationship that you can have. You talk to yourself 10 times more than you talk to anyone else on a daily basis. And it's about time that we started fostering that relationship with ourselves, started setting goals that were in alignment with our true purpose, what we truly care about, on the foundation that all humans are psychologically driven by pain or by pleasure. And if I'm setting the right goal, if I'm setting a lasting goal, what's going to happen is the pain of the short-term strategies that I need to implement are going to be less painful than what won't happen when I get down the road in that rocking chair. So, hey, your next workout is about not having regrets for your grandchildren. Think about it that way. All right, guys. Hey, we're here. We're on all podcast platforms, on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're commenting. We love, love, love your rates and your reviews. We need more. We need more rates. We need more reviews. If you love this podcast, please, it's like our oxygen. Like, we are obsessed here at HQ with pulling up, our ratings and our reviews and seeing all of your amazing comments. And so please do that. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to see you. And listen, you can also email in at podcast@burnbootcamp.com with episode requests, what you did like, what you didn't like. But make sure you hit that review first, okay? Because that's going to help us reach more people with our message. Thank you for being a part of Burn Bootcamp. Thank you for being a part of the podcast. You have an amazing day. Do it on purpose. Keep moving. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.